We would like to know, how did it all begin for you? When did you start to get involved in charity? And could you remember the first time you were involved in a charity event?
So, I'm mother of a blind girl. She's now grown up, of course, but when she was 4, she became blind. So I had to work a lot for blind children, and I gathered around me other parents with the same problems. And of course, we had to raise money to organize things for our children. So these have been one of the first events, like Parents' Weeks for parents of blind children. And from 1983 to 1992, I've been managing director of a social organization, which did a lot of social work, like for old people, for handicapped people. And we always needed money. We never had money enough for the things we wanted to do. So we always had to organize events to raise money. And fundraising was one of our main tasks to finance the organization.
I see. And which charity is the closest to your heart today? Or which charities do you support today? Which charities are closest to your heart? Why these charities? And could you explain us how these charities work and how are they organized and whom do they help in the end?
Okay. So we do some charities ourselves. I've been president for the Paralympic Committee for some years, and we always need money to organize their travels to the Paralympic Games. So this is my main interest now, but I also support other organizations like the Möwe, for example, which is an organization for traumatized children, for misused children, to help them with psychological support, and of course what we call the butterfly children. This is another rare disease like MPS, and they put a lot of money into research, and there is always money to raise for research, and many other organizations.
Very often today we can read in the newspapers or hear in the news that there is corruption in charity organizations. For example, the recent scandal regarding the help for the people who suffered during the Haiti earthquake, as well as when in 2001 Luciano Pavarotti left an international charity organization in the United Kingdom, which was called the War Child. What is your experience, if any, with corruption in charity organizations, and how do people like you who organize charities make sure that the money is used in the most efficient and best way possible and reaches its addressees?
So we've been very careful in controlling charity organization, non-profit organizations. So every non-profit organization I was presiding, or I am presiding, is very well controlled by 2 people at least who have experience in money keeping, in controlling, and we have a very strict law on non-profit organizations. So when they surpass a certain size, a certain amount of money every year, they have to be controlled from outside. So that, of course, you can never be 100% sure that nothing happens. But we can try at least to be as careful as possible.
Now I'd like to move to a different topic, slightly different topic, bearing in mind the fact that you were a federal minister of women and health. If you were ever asked to make a list of things that a modern woman today has to know 100%, what would this list of things include, and what kind of advice would you give to a woman today, to a modern woman?
I would give her the advice never to stop learning, never stop to be curious, so always be very well prepared for everything you do. Of course, to know how to behave, to know how to dress, to know how to speak. And if you go into a meeting, prepare yourself, study what you need, and never ever give up, even if you get a backlash. And a backlash happens in every life. So never ever give up, and encourage other women to go with you, to support you, to work together, and then you will be successful.
Thank you, that is very useful advice. If you could further expand on why is it important to be educated and to continue learning? Why is it important for a modern woman to do these things?
It is important for a modern woman as well as for a modern man. I think everybody should have good behavior, should know how to dress, should know how to behave.
Why?
Because you will be accepted by society, you will be accepted by your neighborhood, you will be successful in your profession, and you will be happy in your life.
Thank you. Of course, in your life you had different experiences and you had the pleasure of meeting very different people, and you've made friends and you've met people and communicated with people of different levels and in the hierarchy. What is your impression of your today's acquaintance with the winners of our reality show, from Ladette to Lady? What did you like in their behavior? What do you think they could still work on? What could they improve? And was there anything that was obviously missing in the girls? Be honest, please.
No, not really. I was very much impressed when I heard that you chose those with the worst behavior, and they looked very nice and tidy, and they seem to have learned a lot already from these 2 months, and I really hope that they will go on with their progress. I think they should give a strong handshake. Maybe one or the other could learn that, because if you make a handshake, you should just not too strong, but not too weak. So to be a self-conscious person, to show that you are a self-conscious person. But I think this was the only thing. They were very nicely dressed, so it was okay.
Thank you very much. It's very nice to hear this, especially for the girls. We will let them know as well. Now going back to our initial topic of charity works, the image of charity organizations in Ukraine has certain stereotypes. Usually it's the work of oligarchs and very rich people who can actually manage these organizations. How can an ordinary person show themselves and get actively involved in such organizations? If an ordinary person who is not an oligarch would like to start, where do they start? And how can our girls, the winners of our reality show, start their active involvement in a charity? What would your advice be?
I think they should have a look around where there are things they want to change, people they want to help, children they want to help, handicapped people they want to help to improve their lives. And then when you start a charity, you have to tell the people what they are expected to give money for. So people never ever give money for something they don't know. So you have to, you don't have to show up the real people, you see, but you say, okay, this is the organization, these are the children, they have these and these problems, and we want to, for example, organize therapy for them. And the therapy costs this and that amount, and we want to raise this and that amount, please help us. Then you have to get artists who do a nice evening or who do something where people like to go. You have to choose a very good event location where people love to go, and you have to try to get all this for free. The artists for free, the location for free, the buffet for free. So you need somebody who pays for the food and the drinks afterwards. And then you invite people, people who have enough money to pay for this event. You have to invite prominent people, and you have to organize prominent people to come so that other people would pay for the prominent, to meet the prominent people. And then you can raise a lot of money.
What is your attitude towards teaching good manners? Should it be taught in secondary schools? And in your opinion, how can it influence a person's life and their attitude towards their own life?
Of course, it is very, very necessary to know how to behave oneself in professional life as well as in private life. And it would be helpful if the primary things are learned at school, at home, of course, but also at secondary school. If you want to get into the raffinesse of protocol, it's much more difficult, and then you can do seminars, and you can learn it in seminars. I do seminars like that myself. So I've always people who are already ranking in a good position in business, and they want to be just sure that they do everything correctly. So, for example, giving invitations, banquet dinners and things like that, and having the right seating positions for every guest. This is not so easy. And so, of course, it's very important for the progress in life, progress for the career, and so it can help a lot.
And the final question today of the interview will be about the best advice that you have ever received in your life. What was this advice, and who gave it to you?
I think I read it somewhere, and it's a Chinese wisdom, as it is said, and it says, please God, give me it's very difficult to tell it in English, so I'll try to translate it in a book, and it is a Chinese wisdom, and it says, give me the power to change things I can change, or that can be changed. Give me the patience to bear things I can't change, and give me the wisdom to divide between the two of them.
Thank you very much.
Okay.